Lois checks in with Sonny, who is at home. He explains he stopped by the hospital earlier and checked in on Olivia, but admits he's terrified his son isn't going to make it. Lois says he has a right to his feelings, and he can tell her anything without fear of judgment. Sonny says if Jason shot Dant, then he'd never forgive him or forgive himself. Sonny fills her in on the evidence Spinelli found of Jason with another shooter, who he's working with. Lois asks why Jason is trying to kill him. Sonny has no idea. Perhaps he's forgotten what it's like to be loyal to him. Lois remembers when Jason began working for him and how upset the Quartermaines were, but Jason wouldn't listen to anyone. Sonny worries he may have trusted Jason too much and tells her that Jason and Carly married when he was in Nixon Falls. Lois thought it was a friendship thing, and Sonny thought so too initially, but he was wrong. They were in love, and he felt it broke some trust. He admits he had feelings for Nina, but wanted to make his marriage work, but Carly made it impossible. He says this doesn't matter, his son could be dying and the cops think Jason did it. Lois knows he and Dant have a special bond. Sonny admits for the last 2 years Dant has been the only one he can talk to, who doesn't judge him and who helps him. The last thing he said to his son was, "Stop being in my way." Lois knows Dant has said things he wishes he could take back, so cut himself some slack. Sonny says Dant was only at that warehouse because of him. Lois tells Sonny he is not God. He can't control Dant or Jason's choices. However, he's not powerless as he's a parent, and Dante needs his father's love right now. Christina visits Sam at the hospital. Sam exits Dante's room, and Christina asks how she is. Sam is fearful and confused. Christina heard Jason is the prime suspect in Dante's shooting, so her feelings are valid. Christina explains Mom gave her and Molly a heads up before the Invader article ran, and this must be hitting her hard. Sam is still trying to process this all. Christina is shocked and she expected her to say there is no way Jason could do this. Sam lashes out if she wants to hear that, then talk to Carly. Christina isn't surprised Carly believes in him. Sam tells her not to tell Molly, but Jason showed up at Carly's for help, and Christina realizes that could get Carly charged with aiding and abetting. Sam can't stand the sight of Carly right now, but she doesn't want her to go to jail. Sam relays what little Carly told her and how Jason told her very little, which is classic Jason. Sam admits every minute that goes by she is more afraid that Jason shot Dant. Suddenly Danny shows up, and Sam scolds him for appearing here again. She tells him that right now she's going out of her mind, and the only thing keeping her calm is knowing he, Scout, and Rocco are safe at the mansion. Christina suggests Danny may be here because his father is a suspect in Dante's shooting. Sam says she's sorry and she should have sat down and talked to him about this. Sam says she has no idea where Jason has been or why he thought it was okay to let them think he was dead, but Jason doesn't think about other people. Jason is drawn to danger, and anyone else would have fought to get home. Danny suggests his father may have a good reason, but Sam says Jason's reasons aren't like others. Christina says her mom taught her that everyone is innocent and proven guilty, and while the evidence looks bad, he hasn't been tried, and Jason is the only one who can give him the answers he needs. Sam agrees that Christina is right, and when Dante wakes up he can also give them answers. Danny asks if they know when Dante will wake up. Sam says it could be today or a while from now. Sam asks Danny to please go to the Quartermaines and stay out of trouble. Also gives Scout a big hug and kiss. She asks Christina to take him where he needs to be, and Christina says she can. Sam returns to Dan's room. Molly comes to see Anna at the PCPD. Anna was just listening to Jason's call to 911 to help Dante. Molly needs to go over the evidence with her and figure out the charges that need to be filed. Anna says the suspect is Jason, and she hopes he's not the shooter. Molly hopes that is true as well. They discuss the evidence that shows Jason tried to save Dante, but Molly says their office's theory is Dan pursued Jason and the other suspect, and Jason shot Dante, not knowing who he was, and then tried to save him. Anna says the evidence fits, and she just hopes Jason. She got to know him better a few years ago, and he saved her life. She began to trust Jason, and of course, Robin loves him. However, she can't be in this job wanting to think what she thinks. She has to be impartial and trust the system. Molly admits that is why she is here. She doesn't know how to stay impartial, which means she's in the wrong job. Molly has her own conflicts with Jason, but she worshipped Jason as a kid and thought he and Sam had the most romantic love story ever. He was someone their whole family could count on, and he saved Christina from a cult. She says, "Why wouldn't I give Jason the benefit of the doubt?" Anna reminds her they don't know where Jason's been and why he was going to take a shot at Sunny. If he could do that, why couldn't he shoot Dante? However, the anomaly is the 911 call. Molly suggests the other man shot Dante. Still, Anna says this is all moot as there has been no sign of Jason since he jumped. Anna tells her about what happened at the bridge. However, Jason didn't look desperate but determined, as if he knew he could survive the fall and his body hasn't washed ashore. Anna says they believe he is injured and holed up somewhere, but he also could have gotten out of the country by now. Working with the WSB, she says these sniper teams get in, make the kill, and get out. She says Jason could be long gone. Molly says she should be relieved that she doesn't have to prosecute Jason then, but disappearing is an admission of guilt. Anna says something else is going on here, something she hasn't seen yet. Drew stops by the gatehouse to see Michael, but Willow explains he stepped out to run errands. He wanted to tell Michael something, and he couldn't tell him in a text. He reveals that he and Carly broke up. Willow gets them wine, and they discuss Jason's return. Both Michael and Carly are sure Jason is innocent. Drew says that devotion and belief are why they broke up. Drew says he hasn't stopped loving Carly, but he's recognized there is no future there. He says she made him happy, and he hopes he made her happy too. Willow says of course he did, he's been generous and beyond forgiving. Drew fears he wasn't today, and Carly's first loyalty is to Jason, aside from her kids. Now that Jason's back, Drew feels Carly isn't free to pursue others. He knows Carly loves him, but not how she loves Jason. He didn't want to drag this out and have her try and prove she loves him because when a crisis occurs, she'll run straight to Jason and not him. Willow says she's sorry and he deserves better. He agrees and intends to find it. Michael checks in on Jason at the boathouse. Jason tries to stand, but Michael tells him not to and to let them take care of him. Jason says Willow is a good nurse just like Bobby, and he's sorry to hear about her death. Michael tells him how Bobby passed. Jason remembers it was Bobby who put Michael in his arms for the first time. He says holding him unsupported was the scariest moment of his life. Michael recalls that happened to him with Amelia. Michael reminds Jason he needs to change into clean clothes per Willow's instruction, and he brought some. Jason takes off his shirt, and Michael sees the arm tattoo and asks, "What happened to you?" After Jason changes, Michael offers to burn the other clothes, but he says he needs them. When he leaves, there needs to be no evidence others helped him. Michael asks where he will go. Jason doesn't know, so Michael asks where he's been. Jason admits he wasn't killed in the collapse of the tunnels on Cassadine Island. The tunnels were just blocked. He headed the back way to the beach, where two men were waiting with guns. Michael asks who they were. Jason can't tell him that. He was flown out of Greece to a place and put in a room with no windows. He eventually talked to a man who had the leverage to make him take a job. Michael assumes he can't tell him what the leverage is, and Jason can't. Jason explains he's been working as a military contractor. Jason explains he arrived in Port Charles yesterday and was working with another contractor named Hamish. When he found out the target was Sunny, he made sure Hamish missed. Then they ran, and Michael knows the rest. Michael wonders if he wasn't given this job, would he have ever returned? Jason admits he doesn't know. However, the job the man in the room with no windows job isn't done. Michael asks what happens if you don't finish it. Jason tells him, "Something I can't live with, I have to finish it." Michael returns to the gatehouse and is surprised to see Drew. Drew had news to share and will let Willow fill him in as he should get back to Scout. He takes off, and Michael asks what that was about. Willow says his mom and Drew broke up. Michael replies, "That's too bad." Willow takes Jason's clothes from Michael to wash. He asks if she's okay with this. She says all they can do is see this through at this point. He knows she believes Jason is innocent, so help him prove it. Carly tells him that Jason isn't reckless, he wouldn't shoot someone blindly, he'd never shoot a cop, and he'd never shoot Dent because he's involved with Sam and helping raise his son. John says for some that would be a motive. Carly asks if he has evidence that Jason is guilty because she's pretty sure there is evidence Jason tried to help Dante. John wonders how she knows that. Carly explains her daughter and Dex found Dent, and someone had already taken care of him. She asks why he isn't considering the second man as the shooter. John asks Carly if the second man shot Dante. Why did Jason run away? She doesn't know why he ran. Maybe he didn't want to get busted for something he didn't do. John says it was clear that Jason didn't know there was surveillance on that roof and warehouse because he and the other man didn't conceal their faces. He said she should be grateful Jason got shot. If not, he'd have been long gone. Carly fumes that this conversation is over, so leave. She tells him not to come back without a warrant. John can't help but notice every time she mentions Jason's name, it gets under her skin. Back in the boathouse, Jason rests and his memory drifts. He's in all black, handcuffed to a table, and in a room with no windows. Suddenly, John Cates enters and introduces himself. Jason refuses to talk without his lawyer. John pulls out a tablet and says on it is indisputable proof of RICO violations, which carry a minimum of 20 years in prison. On the next General Hospital, Stella picks Kevin's brain. Gregory tells Alexis, pretending otherwise does me now favors. Finn assumes there is something interesting in the report Portia is holding. Diane says, a lawyer can dream, can't she? Laura and another doctor visit Heather, and Heather cries, no doctor has ever told me anything. Dex informs Joss it's already too late.